Hello my friends, today we're learning Baba Basra Daf Kuf Nun Aleph. We're 150 pages into Baba Basra. It's a great feeling. We're going to start from the brackets where it says Simen, and we're going to go ahead. Siman Zutra Ime de Amram Metarti Achrata Rav Tuvi V'Rav Dimi V'Rav Yosef. So always when we have such a bracket that starts with Simen, it's coming to tell you type of way to remember the continuation of the Gemara when it's lots of similar things. So it's a lot of stories about Matnas Shchimer, and we're going to go ahead. It says the Gemara, Imei de Rav Zutra bar Tuvia katvinu lenechasa Rav Zutra bar Tuvia de Baelen Subilei Rav Zvid Inziba vegirsha Atya lekamei de Rav Bibi bar Abai Amar Mishum Inzubi va'Inziba Amar le Rav Huna bar de Rav Yoshua Mishum de Atu memulai Amritu milu mili memuliyata Filu iman de Amar mavrachat kani Ani mili echa de lo galedata אבל החגה לדעתה משום אינצובי הוא והאינציבה והיגרשה. So the first story is about the mother of Mar Zutra, the son of Tuvia, that she wrote all her possessions to Rav Zutra, the son of Tuvia. Why? Because she wanted to get married to Rav Zvid, and she didn't want, like we learned early on about Mavracha, she didn't want that if she passes away, all her possessions should go to Rav Zvid. She wanted her family, her kids from a first marriage to get it, and therefore she gave it to him. And then she got married to Rav Zvid, and he divorced her, and she wanted back her possessions from her son, from Rav Zutra, and he never gave it back. So she came in front of Rav Bibi, the son of Abaye, and he said that, what did she say in the condition? That I'm giving you my son this present because I want to get married. Okay, so if she didn't get married, then Ochenami, she could get it back because it was on condition that she's getting married. But she did get married, and therefore now she got married too late. She loses her possessions. So Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yeshua, told Bibi, the son of Abai, you come from Memuloi, and we learn in other places it means you come from Bnei Eli. Abaye comes from Eli, who died young. So therefore, Amritu milu muliyasa, you're saying something that's cut off, like Bnei Eli that die young. You're saying something that doesn't make no sense, that's cut off. The Rashbam over here explains a different pshat. The Rashbam over here also explains that it means from the family of Eli. But it means milu muliyasa, means you're saying things that are like balimumim, things that are not correct. Afilu lemanda omar, even if the shit holds that when a woman gives her son or someone else her possessions to save it from her husband when she's getting married, and she gives someone, and we said earlier on that mavrachas, once she gets divorced she gets it back. So even if the shit holds that she doesn't get it back, and the one that gets a present, it's his full present, that's only when she wasn't megaledat that she's giving it because of that she's getting married. She gave someone all her possession, then she got married, then she got divorced, so then there's a machloikis. But over here where she said clearly that the reason why she's giving it to her son Rav Zutra is because she's planning to get married, so it's clear that she wants to save it from a new husband, from Rav Zvid, and therefore in such a case everyone agreed that she could get back her possessions that she gave away. Says the Gemara, the next Gemara, Imei de Rami bar Chama be'urta katvinu lenechasa leRami bar Chama be'tzafa katvinu leRav Ukva bar Chama ata Rami bar Chama lekamei de Rav Sheshet ukma benechase azal Rav Ukva bar Chama lekamei de Rav Nachman ukma benechase ata Rav Sheshet lekamei de Rav Nachman amar li mai time ukma mar Rav Ukva bar Chama im mishum de'ad Rabba v'ashchiva אמר לי, אחי אמר שמואל, כל שאילו עמד חוזר במתנתו. עמוד אמר שמואל לעצמו, לאחר מי אמר? אמר לי, בפירוש אמר שמואל בן לעצמו, בן לאחר. So this story is the mother of Romi bar Chama. In the evening, she wrote her possessions to Romi bar Chama. And then the next morning, some people are Guris are opposite, but it means later on, however you want to be Guris, or Lefi Aragus and the Gemara in the morning, the next morning, she wrote all her possessions to Rav Ukva bar Chama, the brother of Romi bar Chama, and she passed away. So Romi bar Chama, the one who got the present first, came in front of her Sheshes. He says, "Do I deserve the nechosim?" And he put it, he said, yes, you got it first, so therefore you're the correct person to get the matana, and therefore the possessions belong to you. Went to Rav Ukva, the son of Choma, in front of Rav Nachman, and he said, do I deserve it? I got it second, do I deserve it? He said Rav Nachman, yes, you deserve it. And he said, no, he goes to Ukva Bar Choma, not to Rami Bar Choma. So Rav Sheshes came in front of Rav Nachman, and I suppose Rav Nachman was older or greater in learning. Okay, so he came in front of Nachman, and he told Rav Sheshes, asked Rav Nachman, what's the reason you put my master, meaning Rav Nachman, why did you put Rav Ukva Bar Choma, the one who got the present second, why did you give him the possessions? If because she changed her mind, but she passed away. Meaning if you're going to tell me it's talking about that she got better, and therefore she could change her mind, like we say, if a Shchimura gives away all his possessions and he gets better, he could get back the possessions. Okay, but over here, she never got better, she died, and therefore the one who she gave the present first should get it. So, and the Rashbam explains that Rav Sheshes doesn't hold that Daitiki could cancel a Daitiki dam, and the Matna Shchimura you always go after the last one. So Rav Nachman answered Rav Sheshes, he said, this is what Shmuel said, in any case where Shchimura gives something away and he gets better, he could change his mind and ask for the present back. So he could also change his mind as his matana. That means he could change, like he could change his mind if he gets better. After he gave his matna Shchimura, I could say, no, I'm cancelling, I don't want this. Since if he gets better, he could cancel it already now, he could cancel it. And therefore in this case, where she gave it first to Ram Bar Choma and then Rav Ukva Bar Choma, so she changed her mind about Ram Bar Choma, so therefore the second present is Chal. On that, Rav Sheshes asked Rav Nachman, hey, maybe Shmuel only spoke about himself, that person who gives a Matna Shchimura could change his mind and say, I want this present back. But to other people, meaning once a Shchimura gave it to Reuven, to say I want to give it now to Shimon, did Shmuel also say you could change your mind? So Rav Nachman answered Rav Sheshes, clearly Rav Shmuel said that a person who's a Shchimura and he gives a present, he could change. Doesn't matter to change, to decide that he doesn't want to give this present and he want to keep it for himself. And doesn't matter to give it to someone else, he could decide, and instead of Ron Bar Choma, he's giving it to Mar Ukva Bar Choma, and therefore the present of Mar Ukva Bar Choma stands and Ron Bar Choma loses it. Says the Gemara another story, Imei de Rav Amram Chasida Ava Lemiluga de Shtari, Ki Kashach Va'amra Le'ava Le'amram Bri, Ato Achua Lekame de Rav Nachman Amulei Va'alo Mashach, Amar Lahu Divrei Shchimra Kechtuvim Kum Surim Dami. So another story, the mother of Rav Amram, who was a Chosid, she had a pouch or pile full of shtoros that people owe her money. When she was going to die, she said, this should go, all these shtoros should go to my son Amram. She passed away, the brothers came in front of Rav Nachman and they said, it shouldn't go to Rav Amram, why not? She didn't do Mashiach, didn't do a kinyan on it, so how did he get it? So Rav Nachman told the brothers of Rav Amram, Divrei Shchimra Kechsuvim Kum Surim Dami, meaning that Shchimra, even they didn't do a kinyan, that's if he did a kinyan, and therefore Rav Amram gets all these loans that owed to his mother. Another story, Achte de Rav Tuvi bar Masna Kasvinu lenechosel Rav Tuvi bar Masna betzafra. Bepanya also Rav Achtevoy bar Masna bachalo amrlo ashto amri mar tzuvam rabbanon umar lav tzuvam rabbanon kasvina nialei. Also like Rav Nachman, Omale Achi Omar Shmuel, Kol Sheilu Omad Choyzer Choyzer B'Matanosai. So similar story to what we had before. The sister of Rav Tuvi, the son of Rav Masna, she wrote her possessions to her brother Rav Tuvi by Rav Masna. And then later on in the evening, she came Rav Achtevoy by Rav Masna, the other brother, and cried to her and told her, now that he gave everything to Rav Tuvi bar Rav Masna, people are going to say, oh, why did she give it to Rav Tuvi and not to Rav Achtevoy? Because they're going to say, oh, Rav Tuvi is a Talmud Chacham, and me, Rav Achtevoy, I'm not Talmud Chacham. So it's not nice, it's not fair. So she went and she wrote it to him, to Rav Achtevoy. And it's not clear if she gave everything or partly, but she wrote it to him. And then she passed away. This case came in front of Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman said, this is what Shmuel said, like we said before, if he is choizer, Meaning, if he gets better, he could change his mind about this matana. He could also change his mind before he dies, and say, I don't want to give this matana, I want to give it to someone else. And therefore, since at the beginning she gave it to Rav Masna, to Rav Tuvi Bar Masna, and then she could change her mind if she gets better because she gave him all her possessions. So she could change her mind, and therefore when she gave it afterwards to Rav Achdavoi, the matana to Rav Achdavoi is chal. Said the Gemara, another story, Achte de Rav Dimi Bar Yosef, Avele Piskata de Pardisa, Kol Imat Ava Chalsha Ava Mekanya Leini Ale, Kuf Nun Aleph, V'chi Kaima Ava Hadrava, Zivne Chada Chalsha, Shalcha Le Tokani, Shalach Lo Baina, Shalcha Le Tokani, Kol Eiche de Bait, Athal Shaira, Lekanu Mina, Ki Kaima Adraba, Ata Lekame de Rav Nachman, Shalach Leita, Lo Ata, Amar Mai Iti, Mai Iti, Ho Shaira Vekonu Mina, Shalach Le, Iloat Itmachina Lach Besilua de Lo Ma Badama, Amar Lehu, Vesad Eiche Ave Maise, Amrula Amra Achi, Vai de Komita Ach Itita, אמר לו, אם כן, אבא מצווה מחמת מיתה ומצווה מחמת מיתה, חוזר. So, we're going to explain this tomorrow. The story was, the sister of Rav Dimi, the son of Yosef, she had a small parcel of land that was an orchard. Every time she was a shchimra, she was obviously, maybe she had an illness or something, she was going to die, she made a kinyan and gave it to, she was makneh to her brother of Dimi Bar Yosef. And when she'd get better, she'd say, no, I'm changing my mind, I want it back. One day, she got sick, and she sent to Rav Dimi, her brother, and said, come to a kinyan, I want to see you, I'm going to die, come to a kinyan. So he sent it to her. He was fed up that every time he comes and he never really gets this orchard. Sent her, I'm not coming, I don't want it, I'm good. So she sent him, come and do a kinyan, a full kinyan, that it's fully yours. That I shouldn't able in any way do a kinyan in any way you want, I won't be able to choizer, to do a chazara. So he went, and what he did is he didn't take the whole field, he left a little piece, and he did on the rest, he did a kinyan. And we said before that if he gave matna shchibra, who leaves something for himself, we learned in the Mishnah, and then he gets better, he can't be choizer from the matana. So therefore, Rav Dimi thought he has a solution over here, and therefore, even if she gets better, she won't able to take away from him the orchard. When she got better, she changed her mind. She said, I don't want to give it to Rav Dimi. I'm good. I'm healthy. I want it back. She came in front of Rav Nachman. So Rav Nachman sent to Rav Dimi, come to Bezdin. We'll have to paskin what to do. He never came. And he sent back and he said, why should I come? I left a little bit for her. And we learned in the Mishnah that if we leave a little bit for her, for the shchimera, so he can't change his mind. And I did a kinyan. I also did a kinyan on this. It wasn't just dvorim. So Rav Nachman sent to him, listen, if you don't come, I'm going to hit you with a stick or like a needle or like something pointy that doesn't take out blood. Meaning I'll put you in nidui. You're not coming to Bezdin. So he came, and then Rav Nachman asked the Eidin, tell us what happened over there exactly. So she said, she was all upset, and she said, I'm gonna die, this woman's gonna die. She was talking about herself in the third person, this woman's gonna die, and her Shbam said she was upset that her brother's not coming to visit her before she dies, and she won't see him. And then she gave the present. So Rav Nachman said, if so, it's mitzvah machmas mitzvah or mitzvah machmas mitzvah choizer, even though that he left himself a little bit. So here we're adding a big chiddush of a new point in shchimura. So you have a shchimura, someone who's dying, and he says these nechosim should go to this nechosim should go to this. So we said we already learned about that. Depends if he gave everything or he left himself a portion. Can he be choizer or not? Here we're saying a new chiddush. It's called mitzvah machmas mitzvah. If while he was giving the present, he was talking about that the only reason that he's giving it is because he's dying, even if he only gave a little portion and he left himself, since he was talking about his death, it means he's only giving it if he's dying, and if he doesn't die, he wants it back. even if he left himself a portion. So said Rav Nachman, in this case, since this woman was saying, oh, I'm going to die and my husband, my brother's never going to visit me and I'm going to want to give him this present. So it's called Mitzvah Machmas Mitzvah, someone who's commanding because he's dying and he's mentioning his death in this commandment, and therefore it's only Chal if she actually passes away, and therefore this orchard goes back to the sister of Avdimi. Continue the Gemara, Itmar מתנה שכימרה במקצת, אמרו הרבנן קמי דרבה, משמי דר מרזות רברי דרב נחמן, דאמר משמי דרב נחמן, הרי היא כמתנת בריא, והרי היא כמתנה שכימרה, הרי היא כמתנת בריא שאם עמד אינו חוזר, והרי היא כמתנה שכימרה דלא יבאי קניין. אמר לו רבא לאו אמינא לכו לא תתלו בוקי סריקי ברב נחמן, אחי אמר רב נחמן, הרי היא כמתנת בריא, ובאי קניין. אתי רבא לרב נחמן, שיער קרקע כלשהו מתנותו קיימת, מה אליו דלא קונו מינה? לא, דקנו מינה. היא אחי, אם הסיפה לא שיער קרקע כלשהו אין מתנותו קיימת, והיא דקנו מיני המה אין מתנותו קיימת. אמר לאח שמואל, שכימרה שכתב כל נכסיו לאחרים, אף על פי שקנו מידו, עמד חוזר, בידוע שלא היה מצווה אלא מחמת מיתה. אתי ורב משרשה לרבה, מה אעשה באימן של בני רוכל, שהייתה חולה ואמרה תינתן כבינתי לביתי, והוא ב12 מניים, ומתה, וקיימו חכמים דבריה, ובח אדזן, וקיימו חכמים את דבריה. הטעם במצב מחמת מיתה. אתי ורבינה לרבה, אומר תנו גט זה לאשתי בשטר שחרור ולעבדי, ומת לא ייתנו לאחר מיתה, תנו מנה לפלוני, ומת ייתנו לאחר מיתה. וממה דלא קנו מינה, דומיה דגט, מה גט לה בר קניין, אף ההי נמי לה דלא קנו מינה, אתם נמי במצווה מחמת מיתה, אברונה ברדר וישוע אמר, מצווה מחמת מיתה, בעלמא באי קניין. כי וכי תניא, אחי, אני מתניתא במחלק כל נכסיו, דאי מתנה שכימרה שוויה. והלכת מתנה שכימרה במצד באי קניין, ואף על גב דמת, מצווה מחמת מיתה לא באי קניין והוא דמת. עמד, חוזר, ואף על גב דקנו מינה. So, after we learned this whole long Gemara, we're going to explain. Further Gemara, matna shchimera b'miktsas. What's the din? Like our Mishnah, when someone, a shchimera, is going to die, gives a matona, and he doesn't give all his possessions, he gives a little bit of the possessions. So, Rabbanon said in front of Rava, in the name of Mar Zutra, the son of Rav Nachman, that he said, Mar Zutra, the son of Rav Nachman, said that Rav Nachman, his father, said that when a shchimera gives away not all his possessions, only partly, it's like a matnas bori. It has in one part, it has a din of a normal matona, and also has a din of shchimera. And we explain. It has a din of a matnas bori, that if he gets better, you can't be choizer. Not like a shchimera, it's like a matnas bori. If I give a present to someone, I can't change my mind. So also here, if someone's a shchimera gives part of his possessions to someone, and he gets better, like we said in the Mishnah, he can't be choizer. It's like a bori, like a full matona. And also it has a din of a matnas shchimera. In what way it's like a shchimera? They don't need a kinyan. They're like a shchimera. We said on Amud Aleph and many places, just from his words is as if he did a kinyan. So also when a shchimera gives a little bit of his possessions away, you don't need a kinyan. So this Rabbanon said in the name of the Madrutra, that Rav Zutra said in the same name as father, and it said in front of Rava. So Rava said to them, didn't I tell you, don't put Buki Siriki Berav Nachman? I'm not exactly sure the thorough translation of those two words, Buki Siriki, but basically, don't say incorrect things in the name of Rav Nachman. This is not true. This is what Rav Nachman said. Rav Nachman said that it has a shchimera who gives away part of his possessions. It has a din like a matnas bori in the aspect that you need a kinyan. You're telling me that you don't need a kinyan. No, for sure you need a kinyan, a shchimera. When he gives away only part of possessions. When did we say the whole chiddush? Divrei shchimera kichsuvim usurim. That's when he gives away all his possessions. When he only gives part, you need a kinyan. So Rava asked Rav Nachman. Some people agree differently. That someone asked Rava, but if we go like the Gemara, it means that Rava, when Rav Nachman told this to Rava asked him. We learned in our Mishnah that if he left a little bit of land for himself, his matana stands. Are we not talking about in the Mishnah that there was no kinyan involved? And we could see even without a kinyan, not like Rav Nachman said that you need a kinyan. So Rav Nachman answered, no, it's talking about where he did a kinyan. Our Mishnah is talking about where he did a kinyan. So he said, if so, that the Mishnah is talking about where he did a kinyan, look at the faith of the Mishnah. If he never left for himself any land and he gave everything away, his matana is not standing, meaning if he gets better, he could ask for his present back. And if it's talking about where he did a kinyan, why should his matana not stand? Why could he change his mind? He did a full kinyan. If you do a full kinyan, l'chora, he could change his mind. Or he should not able to change his mind. Very good, a shchimera, I didn't do a kinyan, it's a chiddush, I work, so therefore if he gets better, he could get it back. But if he did a kinyan, how could he get it back? So he answered to him, Rav Nachman answered Rava, if he's a Gerson Agomara, this is what Shmuel said, a shchimera who wrote all his possessions to someone else, to other people, even though that he did a full kinyan, if he got better, he could get the present back, even though that there was a kinyan. Why? It's known that since he was very sick, it's known that the only reason why he gave it away was because he's dying. And even if he did a kinyan, if he got better, he could say, no, I want this present back. I'm regretting this present. Please give it to me back. So Rav Misharshia asked Rava Kasha, how could you tell me Rav Nachman says that you need a kinyan? Matna shchimera b'miktzas. There was a story with the mother of the sons of Roichel. So Rashbam explains, I thought it means Rashbam explains Roichel the name of a person. I thought it means that the kids were like people who go from town to town to sell stuff. But the Rashbam explains Roichel is the name of the person. She was sick, the mother, and she said, I want my binosi. Binosi is a type of jewelry that ties together the cloak that she wears. She said, I want to give it to my daughter, and it's worth 12 money, big amount, and she died. And Chachomim gave this jewelry to the daughter. And it doesn't say over there, it says, she said, it didn't say that you did a kinyan, and the Gemara understands that it's talking about where she didn't give away all her possessions. So we see you don't need a kinyan. Even without a kinyan, it's chal. So the Gemara, no, over there was talking about where it was machmas mitzvah, that she mentioned when she gave it to her daughter, that's the reason why she's giving it away is because she's scared to die. And in that case, when do we say Shchiv Miran needs to do a kinyan when he's makne b'miktzas? That's only if he's not talking about his death. He's nearly dying and he's giving away, but he's not mentioning anything about his death. Then you need a kinyan. But if the person who's going to die is mentioning, I'm giving this part of my possessions away because I'm going to die soon, so then you don't even need a kinyan, even b'miktzas. Now comes Ravina and asks the kasha on Rava. If someone says you should give this get to my wife, or you should give this get shichuru or shtar shichuru to my slave, and he passes away before they manage to fulfill his word, they should not give it after he passes away, because a get you can't give after misa, not get of a isha, not get of a eved, you can't give after misa. It's too late. The person's dead. He doesn't have the ability to make it chal. But if he said you should give a amount of money to someone and he died, even though that they never gave it to him before he passed away, now that he passed away, you should give that money to that person. And continues Ravina, and how do I know that it's talking about that we didn't do a kinyan? Maybe you're going to say, it's on my way to the kinyan. How do I know that this case where he said he promised the money to Ploini and he died, that he give it to Ploini, that he didn't do a kinyan? Because it's similar to get. We said get not, and money yes. So it has to be in all the other things it's similar. Like get, you can't do a kinyan. There's no way to be makne now a get to a woman. A woman could send a shliach, but a man can't give someone and say, okay, you coin this for my wife, because it's only if the wife sends him. Otherwise, there's no way to do a kinyan on it that it should become hers. So also over here, by the money, it's talking about he didn't do a kinyan when this person promises money leploini, he never did a kinyan. And afilu we say that you have to give this money to ploini. So we could see that you don't matonas shchimer abemiktas doesn't need a kinyan. So the Gemara also over there, it's talking about mitzvah machmas mitzvah. Someone who said, I'm going to die, I want to give a get. I'm going to die, I want to give a get shichur. I'm going to die, I want to give a money. And that's why even without a kinyan, by the money, it works, and you have to give the money la'achar misa. Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yeshua, says, in the case someone who's mitzvah machmas mitzvah, that means someone who says, "Oh, I'm going to die, I want to give this away." You need a kinyan. You do need a kinyan. Olechera, we brought some stories and that prove not like that. But the only way we could explain it was because we said it's mitzvah machmas mitzvah, and in that case you don't need a kinyan. If you're going to tell me that also mitzvah machmas mitzvah needs a kinyan, how are you going to explain all the cases? And all these, what we learned before, is talking about when he gave away all his possessions. And when you give away all your possessions, it's a matna shchimera that we said, divrei shchimera kechsuvim k'musurim, even without a kinyan. So the mother who gave away the jewelry was all her possessions, and this man who gave her money was all his possessions, etc. And therefore, you don't need a kinyan. But enochenami, if it was part of the possessions, even if it was mitzvah machmas mitzvah, you need a kinyan. The Ilcha says there is a Gemara, what's the halacha? A matna shchimera, if it's only partial part of his nechosim, you need a kinyan. And even though, if he passes away, it's no chal if he didn't do a kinyan. But if it's mitzvah machmas mitzvah, that means when he's giving away part of his possessions, he's saying, "Oh, you know, I'm giving away this part of my possessions because I'm going to die in a minute, in 10 minutes, in half an hour, in 2 hours. And that's why I'm giving it away." That means he connects his death to this present. In that case, you don't need a kinyan. Not like what we just learned of Shittas Rav Huna Breder Rav Yeshua, more like Shittas Rava. And that's only chal if he passes away. But if he gets better, he could change his mind because he's mitzvah machmas mitzvah, because he's dying. But if he's not going to die, he gets better, he could get back the present. And even if he did a kinyan, even if he was maknet to the person, since he was mitzvah machmas mitzvah and he said, "I'm giving it because I'm dying," he mentioned his death when he was giving the matana. Even if he did a kinyan, he could change his mind if he got better. I would like to pray that we should be zoicha b'schus Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, and Aaron. We should be zoicha to remember this Gemara, to learn many more Gemaras in our life. Kiyas, Be'in, should learn Tanakh, should learn Torah, Kol Torah Kula, and remember it and do Chazorah, and we should have big Yeshuas for Klal Yisrael. Thank you very much.